Assalamu alaikum, guys. Just first of all, I'd like to thank you for liking the new Millennium 5 page, Facebook page I've just created. I'm going to be adding more items, of course, more insight to the characters, the process of designing them, drawing them, and things like that. As you can see here, we have a woman with a gun. You know, and why on earth are you got a picture with a woman with a gun, Khalil? You're saying to yourself, well, all of the images that I use for Millennium 5 are based on reference. Now, those of you who are not used to the arty world would say, well, that's cheating, isn't it? Why don't you just draw it yourself? Why do you have to copy it over pictures as well? Well, it's not that I can't draw superheroes. I can draw superheroes. I can draw them from scratch, but it just it's just a waste of time if you're going to be drawing images and poses from scratch when you can always just use reference, and especially if you're trying to make your characters more realistic. I base my characters, all of the characters are based on reference pictures I've found on the internet and different places. Some pictures I've even posed for myself and then just drew over it. So this is no exception here. So here what I've done, I've found a interesting pose, very action orientated lady from DeviantArt, looking very dynamic, black leather trousers, boots. She looks exactly like one of the characters that I'm trying to draw for Millennium 5. One of the female characters, obviously. And I've just dropped it onto my GIMP here, which is what I'm using to draw all of the illustrations. And this way, when I see a picture and I like a pose and she's got a gun, that's it. I don't have to worry about drawing it myself, trying to get the dimensions right, get the angles right, get the muscles right, which I'm not even going to use the muscles because she's going to have a uniform on. So it's a lot quicker to use photographic references, and you know, because it's a real person, no matter what you draw, no matter how it looks a real person. So it's not like I'm drawing hyper reality in the sense that the figure has to be like the Hulk or something, you know, hugely massive or anything. Right, I'm just using this zoom tool here to zoom into her face, because when I draw the images, I like to start with the faces. Now what I'm going to do, I've already done here, I've created a layer above the layer for her, but that layer is transparent. So when I draw, for example, here, that line, it and I turn off this layer which she is on, he says there is that pitch, there's the line there. Yeah, you can still see the line. Okay, let me just get the rubber. Okay, let me just plug my laptop in. I didn't have it plugged in. I'll go to the rubber here and just rub that off because I don't need it. I just did it to show you guys. I'm still using my phone to record these things. I know I just can't be bothered to download the app, the correct thing, because I'm just lazy. That's what it is. Right, now I'm going to turn back on her layer. Now the thing is that if I start drawing her, let's just do a line for example. You can see it, but it's disappearing in parts. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to undo that, those two lines across her face. I'm going to go back to her layer, and I'm going to bring the opacity down, basically fade it down to say 50%. That way, when I draw on the layer above, and I make my brush a little bit smaller, see, you can still see the line that I am drawing. Now, what I like to do is I always start with the bridge of the nose. Don't ask me why. There. Now her helmet doesn't have, I should have got a bit of reference to the side here to show you what I'm aiming for in terms of the image, what the image will look like. That kind of helps us to, I'm going to look through some of the other bits and pieces I've done, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to find an image of one of the characters, which I can't find at the moment. Captain is the one where they're arguing, Jean and Adam. There's obviously something going on between these two. Yeah, okay, here's one now. It's a bit small. Let me open that and zoom in on her face. Right, there you can clearly see her helmet. So what I'll do, I'll put that to one side here, go back to GIMP, and hopefully it will be on the side here. That way we know what we're trying to draw. We're not just trying to draw from our memory, from our memory, from my memory. Even though I do know, obviously, I designed the costumes myself, so I know exactly how they look. But again, it just makes it a lot easier. See, the thing about drawing these things, it's not this. All the skill will be used in copying it and making it look decent. So the skill is not trying to draw it from scratch every single time. No artist does that. They always have some kind of, especially digital, they have some kind of base illustration or base item that they're copying from, because you're going to draw dozens and dozens of these pictures and you can't do it from scratch all the time. Right, I'm going to continue with the nose, the bridge of her costume here, as you can see here, that bit there. And these helmets, they don't have eyes in the traditional sense. These are more like, I'm loath to say, they're more like bicycle helmets, but much more slim in their construction. Now obviously I'm going over her head because of course a helmet would be a slightly bit bigger than the person's head wearing it. So I'm going slightly over, and you can see the chin guard. I'm going slightly over the size of it on this side, and you can see her ear is here, so obviously the ear section would be here, there, and she has some kind of chin guard thing, so obviously I'm going to put that in as well. And now the chin guard connects to the edge of the helmet here where the ear is, so it kind of goes up straight, but of course we're looking at it straight on, so it kind of curves up a little bit like that. Okay, and then I put her ear here, ear in here, ear in ear. Oh, what covers her ear in terms of the whatever kind of microphones or kind of earphone equipment she has in there that allows her to speak to her colleagues